shit. Hey, it's part 2 of 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 of November 20th, November 3rd, fucking 2020 fucking election. Fucking hashtag senile versus hashtag racist versing each other for presidency. Who will win? The slave owner 1 or slave owner 2?
Biden's racist?
They're fucking all racist. Probably has never done a non-racial thing other on TV. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, don't know what I'm fucking saying. I just believe it though. I believe these fucking people are all fucking fake. That's how I see it. They're the fakest sons of bitches that ever walked the earth.
Alabama with 19% in, and they're projecting it for Donald Trump already.
I got 30% and it's mostly Trump. But duh.
Alabama?
Yeah. But duh. I mean, fucking duh.
Yeah, it looks like this AP one is a lot quicker than NBC.
Well, they're pulling from other people. That's what I did last year. I just go with Google and go what Google says because they're in charge of all of us. It's that one.
They're in charge of all.
Yeah, they are. They own everything. You know, all right. So I'm going to get into 2 topics real quick.
Do it.
Mandalorian, did you watch it?
Yes.
I was about to say commit seppuku right now.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You kill yourself. Would you?
But you know what? I had to wait till Saturday night, Sunday.
Okay. What the? Okay. And what the?
I watched it with somebody.
Okay. So,
okay. Oh yeah, because you guys were starting to spoil shit in the text, and I was like, God damn it, you motherfuckers! But I already knew.
I was fucking vague. Anthony went hardcore in the paint. Let's just say.
Yeah, he always does that because he wants to be the first one.
Hey, you think that? I believe it.
Well, that's why he sent us pictures of his PS5 controller.
That's different though. That's more of a status. I think that's more status than anyone could own Disney, but not many people could own a PS5.
Well, I mean, I could have ordered a PS5 controller too. They sent all that shit out. I didn't want another controller because who the fuck am I going to play with here?
Hey, you only need the one, right?
Yeah, you only need the one.
And PlayStation 5 is more like, it's upscale. Like the shit you're going to be doing is the shit you're going to want to do. Oh, dude, the cool thing about PlayStation 5, other than loading really fast, is the fact that you can upgrade your games for free. Like there's a list of games that you have that free.
Yeah, I was trying to decide on which version of Call of Duty to buy. I'm going to buy the PlayStation 4 version. No Call of Duty?
I thought you already had that.
No, for Cold War.
Oh.
The new one.
I assumed that was the same fucking game. Really?
Well, no. Cold War comes out next week. So I'm gonna buy the PS4 version because I'm gonna put my PS4 in the bedroom and the PS5 is gonna be here in the living room.
I've been thinking about your Destiny idea though. I mean, I'm gonna rig the PS4 up in the study / workout room. What the fuck? I got all this random fucking shit in here, and then like have the PlayStation 5 downstairs.
Dude, I started playing. It's frustrating and it's fun. Fuck. Because there's so much shit that they put into Destiny now.
Yes.
It's stupid. They put too much.
No, but Destiny 1 though, it's because I have everything in Destiny 1. It's so lush. Like, I mean, the amount of shit that's in there is fucking unfathomable.
Yeah.
I mean, like he was beaten, like going from one thing to another, but scratch that. Destiny 2, way bigger.
Well, Destiny 2 has too many different currencies.
It's like that. No, but Destiny 1 had that too.
Not as bad.
No. Not at first, but it is bad. There's ethereal energy, essential ascendant energy. There's like these shards, and there's this thing, and I mean, it's fucking crazy. And
okay. So take that, all of that,
and Destiny 2
still there.
I know.
And then I got this engram, right? I was like, oh, sick! I have this engram. Okay, to open this engram, you have to do these other missions to open up this machine. And once you open up that machine, you have this other machine. But now those engrams feed this machine to make another engram.
Yeah, that's Shadowforge, right?
Yeah, Shadowkeep. And I was just like, what?
They're coming out with Stasis. I was mad at that. I was like, you could have picked anything to do, and you chose this? I was like, why? It's the same thing too. It's like stasis has all 3 iterations. Is like when Destiny did it, it's like 3 things, and that was pretty cool. They had the the void and the rift, and then they gave you the arc, or the
Yeah.
whatever thing you were missing, and then they added stasis, and it's the same thing across the board, but like different ways of doing it.
Well, I don't like that if I want to infuse now, I have to find, and I think it varies from week to week. I have to find these materials from certain planets, and glimmer and legendary shards, and an infusion thing that you have to break down some masterwork, whatever, and then put all that shit together to get this other piece that lets you infuse 4 more glimmer.
Wow.
So it's almost like to get to the top tier, you have to run with the shit that they give you. And if you want to upgrade something, good luck. I had to take apart my Iron Man Destiny guy. I couldn't stay as Iron Man.
Yeah. Why did they do that? I'm
but but I started maybe like around 7:30. Before I knew it, it was 12:30. So tell me I wasn't engaged,
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck am I so tired? I was like, oh shit, I haven't been up this late in a while.
I wish they would have made it so the single player, like if one wanted to, they can go through the whole thing, but you can't. And like, I know it's an online multiplayer game, but there should be a thing for the solo guy,
I was able to do the story solo. It was hard.
Of course, no, the story, of course you could do solo. The entire
But you can't, there's a lot of, you can't do the raid solo. You can't do.
That's what I'm getting at right now. That's what I'm talking about. The higher level content. And it should be a thing where, of course, it's challenging, but it can be done. But
I don't like the game show raids, dude. I don't like it. It was
yeah.
Yeah, the one where it was like, okay, you got to shoot this slashing thing to make this thing move here. This is a fucking game show.
The Emperor raid.
Yeah, when I think raid, I'm thinking of like, like Dread. Like going through and you're having to kill all these guys and use tactics and shit.
It's just the one raid though, because like if you think about it, in Destiny 1, they had one raid that was a video game. That was the arena.
Oh, okay.
So they
yeah.
So like it's okay because it's the one raid. All the other raids are still the same. I mean the raids. You only got one raid that's like an Emperor thing, where it's an arcade game. I mean,
yeah, maybe that one turned me off to it. I don't know.
They should have one where it's like an infinite battle. Like it's not nonstop waves, dude. And you just have to survive it, I don't know. There were times where me and Chata would be playing and we would be stuck in one spot for hours because if we walked outside, we'd die. And then we had to fucking figure this shit out, and we fucking did. I don't feel that from Destiny 2 at all.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
It just feels like a grind. Like it doesn't even feel like I want to play it. I mean, like if I have, I don't know, man. Fuck that game, dude. Fuck that game.
I think rediscovering it has been fun.
Yeah.
For me, just kind of like jumping back in and seeing everything, and then just taking apart my Iron Man guy. I guess that was okay. I was bummed, but
it's the sheer volume of time that you have to invest that I just don't have, and I wish I did. Right. In the sense, like, I mean, I would like to play with my kid, but God, I don't think I could sink in 4 hours of this game with him. You know what I mean? Like, I just every day. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, not every day, but like if he hits like a milestone or he's going through a mission or something.
How long it takes? Like fucking hours, dude. Hours. You're not getting the most out of it unless you're playing for hours. If you play for like 1 hour, you're really not getting much. Because it takes like at least an hour just to get halfway through something. You know what I mean? So you need like invest a good 4 hours, but to fucking do that like every day, you can't do. Maybe once a week, but then you're like, I mean, that's a long time.
Which is good and bad, because it also means that there's a lot to do.
I guess. I mean, fuck.
What I don't like is that it didn't start out with the complexity in terms of like infusing your shit. Before, it was pretty straightforward. Now, there's all these other things. To me, it's like you didn't make the game more fun by taking what it was and adding roadblocks to slow
Yeah.
you down. That doesn't make it more fun.
They made
That's
it so you grind
frustrating.
out. It's like say you play Mario Brothers, and to enhance the game for that in their brain, instead of hitting that first mushroom to get bigger, it's well, no, but first you have to go backwards and you have to go collect the flower to go forward, to go down a pipe,
Yeah, it's
just to get the fucking mushroom.
yeah. If it had been, if Destiny 2 had been this way since the beginning, the infusion rules and all that shit, then it actually would have been more special when you leveled up your gun past 300 or something. You're like, oh shit, I just leveled up something past 300 because you had to do all these different things.
Yeah.
But the fact that you could do it easily before and not so easily now is like, well, what the fuck? And then the counter argument is, well, yeah, you could level up like that to level 600, but past 600, now you got to do these. No, fuck that. Fuck that. You know,
We'll
Like,
finish that thought. What's wrong with that?
because again, it's almost like you're just putting it there just to put it there. There's no real reason for it
No, I know. I'm
except to slow you down.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's my mushroom theme. I get that.
Yeah, that,
But like, what's wrong with? I don't get how. Well,
having it like that since the beginning would have been better.
well, what's wrong with just leveling up to level 600? I just don't get that. Like, why was?
Oh, you can't do shit right now. I can't do shit right now. I'll go up against enemies and I'm hitting them and it just says immune. I'm
No,
like,
what I'm saying is, why didn't they make it so you just keep leveling up? Like, if you wanted to grind out killing pandas, you could do that.
oh, like the 10,000 and shit like that.
Why not? Why?
Were you able to do that? Weren't you able to do that in one of the Final Fantasy games?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's called grinding, literally. But what's wrong with that? I do not get that. What's wrong with that?
I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't get it.
You're switching one grinding mechanic to many versions of it. It's the same fucking thing, except you're
You're
going,
forcing it.
yeah, and you're like, yeah, you are. You're forcing it.
Well, it's like with
Way, like,
so they did it with Witcher 3, and I think it's one of the reasons I put the game down was if you do too many side missions and you level up too high, when you go back to the main story missions that used to give you like 200 or 300 XP, they give you 1 XP or 2 XP.
oh,
Literally, like those are the normal going rates for main missions, 200, 300, 500 XP.
that's
But if you're leveled up too high, and these are the main story missions. If
yeah,
you're leveled up too high, you only get like 1 or 2 XP.
that's in most games though. That I've never seen a mechanic reversing of that. Most games, if you level up the side missions, you get to the main mission. That's
No, they don't nerf the main mission like that.
I don't know a game that doesn't do that.
Nerf the points?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think Witcher started it. I don't know that it existed before that.
No, there's never been a game like if you leveled up. All RPGs have done this. You level up hard, and then you go to whatever fucking point you want to get to. You just overpower. I've been doing this for years. Final Fantasy does it with every single before open world. It would be a story point, and you can do a bunch of shit before you got there, and you can literally just keep fighting and leveling up at like one point if you wanted to, and then you could sink in thousands of hours, and then when you got to the boss of whatever point you're in, you'd overpower them all the way. And that's all games. Like, and then they became an open world, and then it was
yeah. But what I'm saying is that the rewards go way down
for just
for doing a bunch of other stuff.
yeah.
So
Well,
it punishes you. It punishes you for doing side missions.
how's that punishing you though? You went to do the side missions, you got stronger. Now you can overpower the main story. That was the point.
But then I go back to the main story and I don't get the same rewards as before.
Why would you? Because you've already overpowered everybody to that point.
But I mean, but getting 1 or 2 XP just feels like a slap in the face.
Yeah, because you've already okay.
I could see coming down to like 100 or something, or half XP or something like that, or
But
or it showing the calculation. But
that literally is normal though. That is normal. You level up
that's like tipping somebody a penny, man. That's like, what the fuck?
Well, it depends on your definition of reward, because the reason the whole experience is a thing unto itself at all is unexperienced players, if they couldn't get past a certain point, they would just level up and then they would then be able to go it. So people who are experienced wouldn't have to grind as much, and they would just get past the story mode. Meanwhile, if I wasn't good enough at the story, I would then just beat the story. I mean, I would just, level up, fighting sheep or whatever the fuck and things like that. And then you would get that. What my thing is here's my new thing that I don't like is leveling up that does not work. Okay, so what the fuck is this? If I'm level 300 and I walk into a land of level 1s, why the fuck can these guys kill me? They shouldn't be able to, but they can.
You're talking about like in the Crucible?
No, yeah, there's Crucible, but also Destiny. There's places where
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Crucible is the deathmatch in Destiny.
There's Crucible, but also in the main game itself, like the whole game is a power fantasy, right? You're trying to get strong and that's it. But if you go to an area where you're like everyone's weaker than you, like level 8, and you're level 300 or whatever the fuck, light, whatever, they can take you out. If there's enough of them, they can take you out. There's levels where Thrall can kill you, and they're like the to the weak, like they're one hit kills. But if there's enough of them, they can kill you. That shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't, because you're already leveled up.
You should be God mode.
Exactly.
You should be Terminator in Terminator 1 when he's going through the police station.
I know, but I don't know why they give me a second here. Let me see here. Thank God for touchscreen. So yeah, I have a touchscreen on my laptop and my mouse is way the fuck over here. And I'm like, fuck, I can't see where it's at. So I went, no, but yeah, Destiny always pissed me off in that way because there's games that do this, multiplayer games where you level up, and guess what? If bad guys are level 1, sucks to be them. Because the reverse works. Because if people are stronger than you in Destiny, you're not doing shit. So, I mean, why would you fucking cheat a person like that? So when they get to a level, they can defeat you. In other games, no shit, you are a god.
So in Dragon Age, in Inquisition, it works like how you're saying you wanted it to work.
Yeah.
Like you can come back to a place and maybe it took you like 4 or 5 slashes to kill somebody. Now it's like you blow on them and they die.
Yeah, no, right? I played a lot of online games. They're like that.
You can do a new game plus, and it has these things called trials. It's basically like difficulty modifiers.
Yeah.
Where you tell it scale enemies to my level. And so now, when you go and you fight something, it scales up with you and it has that many more hit points and it hits harder too. So it and then you get rewards for doing that.
That makes sense.
If you turn on the trial, and you scale the enemies up, then every once in a while they'll drop something that they didn't drop before.
That makes sense though, but like Destiny doesn't do that.
No, Destiny.
It kind of does. It kind of does when you do like the strikes and you go heroic. When you do that, it kind of does, but it's not like basically what I'm saying is if I go to the fucking moon and they're all weak, I shouldn't be able to die ever. Now, like, I just don't like that, dude. That's what fucking pisses me off, And then another thing I hate, not Destiny, but these are the newer games now, the world, you can level up, but guess what happens when you level up? And there's no choice in this. The bad guys level up too. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of leveling up?
Right. Yeah, I don't like, that's what I liked about Inquisition was you can go level up, come back to your area, fucking walk through people, go God mode on them.
Yeah.
You would eventually get to the more difficult people, but then you could do the new game plus and then turn that feature on that you're talking about where they scale up to you.
I'm cool with that, but if I'm like, what is the point of leveling up if everyone levels up with you? There's none. I was asking Adrian this.
Then it's just putting roadblocks in the way for you to have some kind of skill tree.
Yeah, but why? But it's pointless. I was like, Adrian, why do you like Assassin's Creed? Because I used to play Assassin's Creed like adamantly all throughout and then they made it open world and they leveled everybody up, and I was like, what the fuck is the point of this game?
Honestly, Kev, I think the game that I'm gonna play when I get my PS5 is gonna be a PS4 game from 2014. I'm probably gonna play Dragon Age on it. I want to play Dragon Age on it.
The load times are faster.
Yeah, and then I want to see, obviously the frame rate, there's not gonna be a frame rate unlock, but there will be a frame rate, like a constant frame rate, right? So the thing is supposed to,
it's like if everything's moving and you're casting spells, it should be fluidity.
Yes, it should never go below 30 frames.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that's what I want to buy the PlayStation 5 is for that reason. Like Tekken 7 has ungodly load times, and if things start moving, fast enough, like it starts moving slow, and this is a fighting you. And I was like, oh, dude, this is on there. And then there's games I've played that are like already good. They have like a couple load times here and there, like Horizon Dawn or Zero, whatever.
Oh yeah.
That game, and like when there's too much shit, maybe I'll start doing that. But like I can't. You're right. A lot of PlayStation 4 games I'm gonna be playing on the 5.
That's gonna. I think that's gonna be the game I play. I want to do one more run through on the PS5. I'll start over,
Yeah, of course.
even if I don't have all my new game plus stuff, because I know what I want. But
Yeah. Oh, with those kind of games, knowledge is power. Like they make them so well that as long as you have the knowledge of it, that's how you know a game is good. If you have the knowledge of something, you're able to move like really good. But when games suck, like you could be like knowing Ninja Gaiden all you want, but but you're not getting anywhere because you better have these reflexes.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I know he throws this thing really fast, and then boom, you get killed and shit. Let's talk about the Mandalorian though. What'd you think?
It's consistent. It feels like we actually watched the last 2 episodes of the first season as a primer.
So smart, so smart.
Yeah, we watched those two. Well, because I had watched the first third of the season so many times. The middle is good. It's really good, but you don't really need to watch it multiple times, you know. But the last two I'd only seen once. So I watched the last two, and then right away went into season 2, and
it's really good.
it's consistent. You know,
Yeah,
the acting, the direction, the effects, it looks better, but not in a way where you're like, oh, season 1 looks like shit now. No. It still has the same look and feel.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. The effects literally consistent until the dragon comes out. When the dragon comes out,
They couldn't do that in the first one.
that was amazing. Like this looks fucking real. Like I was like, this is so fucking good. It's better than a movie, dude. It was better than any. Oh fuck! God damn it! I'm so fat, dude. That fucking movie.
And it was fun to watch too.
It was.
Spoiler alerts, right? Spoiler alerts. When the Tusken Raider, he ties the guy there, and then he does the call, and then he runs away.
Yeah.
And then he gets eaten.
Yeah. I thought, you know what? What surprised me about that? That it surprised me because because he goes to eat the dude, and then I'm like, we're all watching, the family's watching, right? And then Seth goes, I go, why? I go, why did he? I mean, like, why did he eat that guy? You know, there was no reason he's smaller, you know. And then Seth, he uses because he's a child, but he's very intelligent. He goes, well, because he was gonna eat him. That's what he was gonna do. And I hear what you're saying, but two things. One, they've done this before. They even say it. They alluded to that they've done this before. And usually, I mean, like, it's not like the guy was sacrificing himself. Why the fuck would he bring if he'd be like this, roar, 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 and then he would just get eaten. But he had right there. So that implies that they've done this before, but they decided to eat them. You know what? They didn't really dive too deeply on why it started eating the people as opposed to the bigger animal, you know?
Just more reason to have to kill it because it's indiscriminate.
It's cool. And you know what's cool though? The Sand People have done this before. That's a cool thing because they already had like a plan in place. I thought that was cool. Check it out. So here's a deep cut that I thought was cool. I didn't read about this. I actually just thought about it. So in Star Wars, where Luke is seeing the Sand People in his little thing, which was a callback. They do the thing, and Luke does that, right? And then so it's like the Sand People get him, and they come after him, but then they hear a noise. They hear a noise, and then they fucking run. And then he says that he made a voice with the Jedi power. He made the voice of a thing of that dragon. And then like, so when you're watching this episode, what do the Sand People fear? And then when they hear the sound, they hear the sound of the dragon. And like, if you watch the episode, you understand why they're afraid of that dragon.
Yeah. They're like, get the fuck out.
Dude, those guys are brave. You know what I like about his brave?
The thing is, Dave Filoni lives in this shit, right?
We know.
It's so I was talking to one of my students, and they said, no, I don't like the new Star Wars stuff. I like the older stuff more.
What do you mean?
And I was like, dude, if you're into like classic Star Wars, episodes 4, 5, and
Okay,
6,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
this is right in your wheelhouse. This is what you wanted.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Like it was so good. And then the Western. I liked how the character said, "I saw you with the armor, and I thought if I go in there, one of us is not coming out of there." So he already fucking knew death is on the table. Then he says, "Then I saw you with the kid, and I figured we could talk." And I was like, "This is pretty fucking logical."
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought that was beautiful writing. You know what I mean? You know who directed and wrote that?
Who was this one?
This was Jon Favreau.
Oh, nice.
Wrote and direct. Beautiful. What the fuck, dude? What is he? Is he like a unicorn given human flesh, dude? I was like, I'm watching this fucking thing and I'm fucking there, dude.
Well, he's I feel like he's good at doing the, I don't want to say down to earth, but really being able to communicate, what something that makes sense. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not just doing it just to do it because it looked cool,
Yeah.
but really letting it fit. And I mean, I'm almost imagining like they're going through when they're writing this stuff out and they're asking themselves, would this character do this? Is there precedence? Have they done something like this before? Have they made this decision in the past? Is there something for us to inform, what they're doing now? Or are we just doing it because we wanted to have a guy that looks like Boba Fett and a guy that looks like our Mandalorian face off?
They did. Well, I think it's a little bit of all of that, though. They have to have, right?
Yes, but it's like, okay, we want to have that face off, but are we doing it in a natural way?
Yeah.
Or do we need to set it up so that when it pays off, it makes sense?
When I write a character, I always think to myself, what's this character's motivation, for doing this? And when
You have to create all those rules.
yeah, and when I watch a show, I think to then that's really the bothersome thing it is for me when I watch TV. Oh, would this character really do this? It's kind of dumb. Like you see a ghost, and then the guy goes, "That wasn't a ghost." I'm like, well, then fucking explain what you just did right there,
Right.
because you fucking saw it with your eyes, or something like you remember when Jamie Lee Curtis is looking at Michael Myers, and
I didn't see those.
back in the day. Oh shit. Well, there's this thing where the camera pans to her, she's looking down, obviously scared. You see down, it's Michael Myers. Then you go to her, and then you go back down, but he's gone. And he goes, and I'm like, wait, whoa. Her head never moved. It's not like she looked away. Where did he go? Why is she scared? Because she was looking. It's as if I'm looking at you.
Yeah. You're looking right at somebody and they disappear.
Yeah. I was just like, what the fuck just happened? And everyone's just cool with it too. And that's another thing. It's like this part did not work. Yet people are just totally okay with that. And I'm just like, that bothers me. But that's just me. That's just my own personal fucking prejudices. And things need to make sense, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I like in the Mandalorian when he goes back to Tatooine and he lands, and then the droids come out to fix his ship, and then the shop lady, she's like, "Hey guys, no, he doesn't like droids." He's like, "Nah, it's okay this time. They can give
the episode prior.
No, this was in season 2, episode 1.
No, I know, but in the episode prior season,
yeah. Before he was like, "No, I don't want those fucking things touching my shit."
Yeah. It's kind of funny that they went in that direction because it's like, well, now he's totally okay with it, and I was like, I get. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say bad writing, but it's something I accept.
No. Okay, so in the last 2 episodes,
Yes.
He doesn't trust IG-88
Until
or IG-11. I'm sorry.
he dies.
But Queel is kind of like, I have spoken. This guy is gonna help us, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't want him alone with the kid. Then he's forced into a spot where he has to leave him alone with the kid. He he doesn't even have a choice.
He just
IG-11 rescues rescues the child,
yeah,
and then rescues them,
mm-hmm.
and then saves his life, and then even tries to tell a joke to connect with him.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian lets him see him without his helmet on.
Well, only because IG chest gamed him with logic.
Yes. But at the same time, that's almost like he's acknowledging, okay, you're not a thing, but I'll let you see my face. But then he let him save his life.
Yeah.
He didn't even trust him before. Now he's letting him save him.
Yeah.
And so in that episode, you see them kind of pushing him,
Yeah.
right? And forcing him, and then IG-11 sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like that last episode's such a mind fuck because it is he crosses a threshold when he takes off his mask. It's just a weird warlike situation where you're like, fuck this guy, but fuck he did this. I gotta take off my mask for the situation that I'm in. I did it. Like it was such a beautiful mess. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just kind of fucking works, you know? And then then you parlay it into the next episode, right? And then the robots come, like you said, and then he's like, okay, the robots can come. And I you know, and like I was like, was that enough time, like a transition for him to be like,
he's not like in love with them, right? But he's like, yeah, I guess it's okay if they take a look at it right now.
yeah, and I was okay with that. I was really okay with that because I felt like maybe
Yeah, no, I was fine with it.
maybe you need a couple more episodes before he gets to that level, but
it was I feel like it was earned. I feel like it was earned.
Yeah. I like I said, it works. It works. I let it go because the writing's so tight, and most cases I wouldn't be okay with that, but it just fucking works. You know what I mean? Like logically,
I think it showed growth for him.
of course he's a character that's growing. You know what I mean? It was so weak of him to be like, I hate robots, you know, because it killed his family. But the robots didn't kill, and like he's an older man now. He knows totally.
Well, Mandalorians typically don't gel with droids. That's part of their lore.
Where are you getting this?
I'd watched this whole breakdown, dude, on the fucking history of Mandalorian. They've been fighting droid armies like forever, and then in the flashback, Dave Filoni refers to a lot of this stuff. In the flashback, they're fighting a droid army. I think the Death Squad is fighting a droid army, so it's a thing. And the same thing with Jedi too.
No, because in the Clone Wars, when you have Death Watch, they're fighting. They're fighting the Separatists, and the Separatists are using robots. So it's not like the thing like they hate robots. So that's a stupid.
But that's an easy thing. Well, Kevin, come on. I mean, in war, combatants kind of have to learn to hate their enemy.
I'm pretty fucking confident if I drove a tank and ran over a bunch of Africans and they're fighting war with me, they wouldn't be like, I fucking hate tanks. They'd be like, as soon as they get in a tank, they would use the fuck out of a tank. We use guns against people. People use guns.
Yeah. But you gotta think of the long lasting trauma of something as devastating as that. I mean, look at Japan. They really never got over the atomic bomb. They've been talking about nuclear war and you know, the fallout from something like that, or the possibility of a war to end all wars.
Ah, man, you got me there.
With every Gundam series, Godzilla, you know, Akira.
You're right. You know, you're right because you use that, and like usually I want to combat you, but I really Japan.
No, I'm just saying. There is lore that says that, you know, the Mandalorians, they fight droids and they fight Jedi.
But the Jedi thing works though. That you can turn into we're racist against Jedi. But when you get racist against robots, and that's the crucial thing about the first Star Wars, not the first Star Wars, but I don't know what am I saying? The second trilogy, 1, 2, and 3 episode
4, 5, and 6.
No, not that one. The other one. The 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The second trilogy, you would call it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And the mind fuck of that trilogy is a mistaken step. You got clones, I get that. But they should have made it so that the robots themselves were the bad guys. That way you can then make that connection that robots are bad. But it was really just the Separatists that you were using the robots.
Yeah.
There were nothing more than weapons. And you know what really pisses me off? Dave Filoni does this in Star Wars Rebels. They alluded to the robots are cool. The robots are good. They were just being used by the Separatists, and the old clones were being used by the Dark Jedi, or by that. They were just pawns. Both sides were just pawns. So he understands the concept of, you know, the droids aren't inherently bad, and then people are just misunderstanding of them. But it really should have. I mean, it was a.
Yeah, but the thing is, you see it today, it's just, when does it end? When, okay, yeah, I understand they were pawns, but it still doesn't matter. A droid killed my father or something, and I just fucking hate them, because you're not going to erase all those years of built-in animosity because, oh, hey, by the way, they were just pawns.
I'm wrong because
We still fought. I still fucking hate them.
clip this out, but I am wrong. You're because okay, so when we send our soldiers over there, our American soldiers over there to kill a bunch of fucking people, people are still mad at America, but those people themselves aren't inherently bad. They're just doing the bad of us, the Dark Jedi. America is really like the dark Sith Lords, right? So we send our fucking people out there to Afghanistan, kill a fucking bunch of people. Now, those people aren't our clones are inherently bad. They're just fucking doing what we told them.
Right. Yeah, it's not the people that we sent. It was the system that sent them.
And people were like, fuck those guys. And I get you. So with droids, all right, you won me. We had a fucking point.
No, that's not the point.
No.
I like, he's showing growth.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like the way he left that dude hanging upside down.
Yeah, to get eaten. I thought he was gonna shoot him. You're not gonna die by my hand. And then he would shoot him.
I thought he was gonna turn him into somebody, and I thought maybe there was a bounty on him or something, and he was gonna freeze him, or I thought he was gonna turn him into leaving him there to get eaten. I was like, ooh, that's.
Well, I thought he was gonna shoot him and say, "That's not my hand. That's my laser."
You will not die by my hand. You'll die by my fucking flamethrower.
Or my knife, and he just eviscerates it. He goes, "You're still alive. You just have to live," because his guts are just coming out because he's upside down. I mean, that would have been tight.
I wish they hadn't shown so much of that first fight in the trailers.
I know. Well, I don't really care. They didn't really spoil anything for me. Even like when I saw it, I was like, it's still good.
There was extra stuff in there that they didn't show in the trailer. Yeah.
But even like for me, action is nothing now. I mean, it has to. The shit with, hey, when I saw you with the kid, I knew you were. I mean, that is everything to me. And then when they're about to fight, and they come together for a common goal, and then the guy was showing how honorable he was. That's the best. That was the best.
What did they say? How did they get to the line? I'm gonna have to watch this episode again. How did they get to the line when they're talking about the dragon, the crate dragon, and then they're comparing it to the Sarlacc, and then he says, "Not if he eats the Sarlacc."
He eats that's what he does.
Yeah, he ate the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck. And to me, that leveled up the dragon.
It did.
Yeah.
It made him more menacing. But the Sarlacc is just there.
Yeah, he just parked there.
He's just parked there. So like this thing that's moving around and shit, and it could eat up the whole city. I was like, what the fuck? And you know what's cool? What was the best part of it, which was awesome, is I love when they do this. They did this in Jaws. They kind of build it up like this. They go, is that to scale? Like, because they have like this fucking head, and they got little guys, and he goes, is that the scale? And he goes, yeah, no. They're doing this, and he goes, they can't be. They're so tiny, and that thing is so huge. And then because you only see part of them,
yeah.
And then when he comes out like Jaws, he comes out like huge, and it's like
when he comes out of the mountain, the top of the mountain, I was like, fuck, it's on now.
And then like the balls on these fucking guys, they're coming. Like when he goes, let's hit the air, and then fucking he goes, and then
they fly up.
Both fly, and like I get the Mandalorian, he's brave, I get that. This other guy fucking brings it, and he starts flying and shit. And then like an act of like selfishness, like fucking he hits the fucking other guy that he was about to kill maybe 20 minutes ago, and then gets eaten up, and then oh man, it was so fucking good,
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good episode.
It was amazingly written too.
Having Boba Fett show up at the end. That was cool.
It was fan service though. I didn't really care.
The way they rolled it out is fan service. I would have rather they didn't show it.
It would be cool though. I give you this. If they did this, I was talking to my wife about this. If Jango Fett comes out.
No, Boba Fett.
Yeah, he is Boba Fett. I'm right. It's because it's the actor who plays Jango Fett.
Right, it is right.
And then Boba Fett like comes out and he starts fucking people up left and right? And it's like that'll build up his like how badass he is. Because all right, so like if you go back to the original Star Wars, that first, well, episode 1, 2, 3, right? When they clone Jango Fett, they cloned the best, like fucking the best Mandalorian of them all, right? And then so they get Jango. So Boba Fett should be like the motherfucking shit, right? Like from top to bottom. So it should be some way how to build him up. So when the Mandalorian fucking throws down with them, it's like, what the fuck just happened? Because it basically, okay, and it's Dave Filoni's at the helm. I mean, this is what it is. This is what it is, man. This is how good he is. So up to in Star Wars Rebels, up to that point, like, so you have all of Clone Wars ended, all of Clone Wars, right? Ended, and you got Star Wars Rebels, right? And then for 3 seasons, you don't have Darth Vader, and then finally, when the Rebels get together with the other Rebels, when the pirates get with the Rebels, and they're like, oh, finally, we're part of this force that's going to take on the Empire. Whoa, holy shit! And they're all together. They have all their ships, you know, they got all this shit, right? And you got that one ship coming in. And it's Darth Vader. It is. And they're like, the guys are like, what the fuck is one ship going to do? And it fucks up the entire fucking fleet. He fucks everyone up. And if you didn't have anything else, that'd be kind of stupid, right? Like, why was Darth Vader such a badass? But like I said, Dave Filoni, Clone Wars, he does this all the time. Like, he takes the situations that are the most dire and fucking in good storytelling and writing, he fucks everybody up. So you have this entire fucking show, and then you have this one ship coming up, and he's coming from that show, basically. And then you got this new Star Wars, these Rebels, and he fucks everybody up. And that's he's literally built the legend of the and after he kills like about hundreds of them, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? He's just so good. And you're like, because he's Darth Vader, because he's fucking Darth Vader. And it gives him the gravity of that. Yeah. So when you see him in other form, you're like, yeah, that's what he is. Dave Filoni is at that level. So when you see Jango Fett or Boba Fett, when you see Boba Fett, he's gonna build that fucker up, because that's the legacy of Jango Fett. They cloned millions of this fucking guy because he's that badass. And that's why you fucking won the Clone Wars, I guess. And you were able to kill Jedi, by the way.
Well, yeah, he fought fucking Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best Jedi.
Yeah, and all the Jedi got killed because there was like, it wasn't just one Jango Fett, it was millions of Jango Fetts. Oh man, dude, that's good writing. And Dave Filoni's gonna pull it off, dude, because he is that man, you know. He is my Star Wars hero. You know, you get your Luke Skywalker, you get your Darth Vader. Dave Filoni is the hero.
Who's doing the Obi-Wan show?
Oh, fuck, I hope he's in that.
I hope it's Filoni and Favreau and all that.
Oh yeah, dude. You know what though? I have to say he's learned a lot from Favreau, and I have to say if he's just the showrunner, it could be done.
I think this team needs to stick together.
Yeah,
I don't think it's good if it's just Dave Filoni and or some other random director with Dave Filoni writing. I don't think it's as good.
Okay, so you got Dave Filoni on Star Wars Clone Wars, right? Pretty fucking good. He's a nobody from nothing. He made that.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would let him direct.
Let me finish. Then they gave him a new crew with Rebels. He has a new crew. He does exactly the same fucking thing he did with Clone Wars. Not exactly as in like everything's the same. He literally created that for this, but better.
Live action version
is better than Clone Wars, and Clone Wars is still in my heart, right there. It's right in. It's right.
But the thing is, with the live action thing, you got to have somebody like Jon Favreau who can flex and get you what you need to do your story. Because the other ones were in the computer and the models were already done. It was just a matter of making the characters do what you wanted them to do.
I hear you.
But with live action, you need somebody who can give you the look that you want, the knowledge of lenses and background and logistics and all that bullshit.
No, I hear you. I hear you. But Dave,
it's not just Favreau that's on this. It's Taika Waititi too.
They're directors though. They're not writers.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right. They're not.
Like,
they're not.
Bryce Dallas and Waititi and all those other people that made. When we watch the volume, I get you. They did write it, but you fucking know. You know the man behind the curtain, man. Dude, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are like fucking.
Well, like I said, this doesn't happen just Jon Favreau either.
Yeah.
Right. No. I would. It sounds like you want to give more weight to Dave Filoni than Jon Favreau, and I would agree. If that's what you're saying, I would agree with that.
Man, that is.
Yeah. But I think another random director, I don't think it happens this well. Um,
I don't know. If you have a good showrunner, okay. I wanted to get into Star Trek. Here's a good segue. So in Star Trek, you have a showrunner, and that's what happened. And when the showrunner disappears, then you can see the difference in the shows. But when you have the showrunner, and it's not the showrunner's not writing any of this shit. He's just showrun. He's making it so that when you go, I want to have Picard have a or
like an editor in chief. Yeah.
the showrunner comes in and goes, that's not what he would do.
Right.
Or I want these two characters to fight. That's not what these characters would do. I've watched so many documentaries. That's what a showrunner does. Dave Filoni's that guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter who you got. You have the showrunner to be like, no, Luke wouldn't do that. Or no. Obi-Wan wouldn't do that. You know, that kind of guy. Because that's what Rick Berman did. When Gene Roddenberry dies, Rick Berman for the longest was like, that's not what Gene would do. That's not Gene would want. And if you watch Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, Voyager, it's there. It's fucking there. They're like, you can tell that it's the vision. And then like, okay, stop that. And then fast forward to Discovery, the newer Star Treks.
I haven't watched Discovery, dude. I want to watch that bad now.
You got Discovery, you got the movies, you got the newer movies, you got the Picard show. You can tell that Rick Berman was not part of any of that. That's how good a showrunner is. Like, it's like, why are these guys fighting for money? Well, why are they fighting? They're not supposed to fight.
Why are they cursing so much?
There's that too. You know, I whatever on that. I can't even fight that shit.
No, not whatever on that, because you have all these other things, all this other stuff, and then they're full on cursing at each other, and I'm like, never seen that before.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't see before when you watch the show. When you watch the showrun, I'm not gonna lie though, Discovery's good if you think of it as a one episode.
I want to watch Discovery. I want to jump around Deep Space Nine. I remember watching it all the time as I was a kid. I don't remember shit.
Deep Space Nine's good to watch in the background because like even the filler, and that's what I like about shows back in the day. Fillers actually had character development. You know, now it seems like fillers are stupid because you got 12 episodes. That's your fucking run. Back then, 26 episodes, you had 12 fillers or something like that. And then episodes that kind of connect. Nowadays, you got 12 episodes and they have fillers there and they don't make any sense at all. Like, it's like, why did you do this? But like, let's talk about Star Trek real quick. What episodes were you watching?
So, what was I watching? So I did watch the one where they first meet the Borg.
Oh, what did you? Okay, let's go there. Q who? Let's go.
Yeah. Oh shit. Good job.
Every year, so come on.
So I was watching it and it just makes sense with the characters. They feel consistent. I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it like if I'm watching a movie.
Okay.
I'm not.
Would you think?
Oh, good.
Would you think of Picard at the very end? How good that acting was at the very end of the episode when they're about to die. It's cutting.
Yeah, he tells them. He's like, "Okay, I need you.
Yeah,
I need get me. I thought we were ready. We're not ready. Take us back.
Yeah.
Help us."
Now talk about thematically how that doesn't work at all in the sense of like that's not a thing. Usually the hero poses this, the bad guy poses this, and at the very end we learned the lesson that the hero was right. But not this show. And this is back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Q goes, you need me. And this is bullshit. This is a bullshit thing. Like an all-omnipotent being, he all the power, everything, all knowing, and he's like, I want to be part of your crew. I could do so much. Blah, blah, blah. And then like Picard's like, what could you do? What could you do? You could do everything, And Q's like, I know a lot. You don't know. Fucking the universe is scary out there. It's fucking scary. And he's goading him. And then Picard's all like, and he's doing his, we're better people than you think. And we
just overcome and we can come together. And yeah.
An idealistic kind of thing like that. It doesn't exist. You're not good people. You always should have to try. And that's the beauty of that scene. And Q is like, oh, you think you're the best. You think you're just going to just walk over, you know? Sends him to the Borg. Of all the beings in all the universe, he sends him to the Borg, which if you watch Star Trek, it actually sets him up to fight the Borg. Because if he hadn't done that, when the Borg do come, they would have no knowledge of this.
Well, that's what they talked about at the end of the episode. They said, well, now they know about us.
Yeah.
Now they're going to come for us.
Yeah. You know what I theorized at one time, which I actually now know that it's not, is that when Q snaps them back and they fly all the way back, the Borg who are seeking new technology would have seen that and be like, what the fuck was that? Well, we need to take them now. How are we going to keep going?
You don't think it was that?
No, I already know because I watched all the Star Trek that ever existed. In Enterprise, so in Star Trek First Contact, they go back in time, and
Right.
some of them get stuck in Antarctica. So when the TV show Enterprise comes on, some of them in Antarctica, they find them, and then they start assimilating people on the Enterprise, and then the crew of the Enterprise in that show Enterprise, you know, which is supposed to happen before Star Trek, they discard they go through this adventure and they discard the aliens because they're like, oh, I don't know what the fuck this was all about, but they were Borg, and they were Borg. They were just assimilating people left and right. They're going to take over because they're from back in the day, back in time, because that from First Contact.
Right.
Gets rid of them, and but at the very end of the episode, they sent a message, and then they go, what are you talking about? They sent a message. Well, it won't reach the designation until like Stardate, and guess what Stardate that is? The very time that it hits the Borg, and then they're coming. They're coming because they were told to come from their past. Yeah, but fuck that, though. It would have been nice if it was the Q thing. I'm just saying. That's a problem with retconning things. But the acting, like he goes, I need you. Like, you want to say that we're scared? I am scared. I'm scared, you know, like I was like, fucking, this is the greatest, dude. How'd you get stuck on that? Why'd you want to watch that episode?
I don't know. I every once in a while, I want to say every 3 or 4 months, I'll go back and watch First Contact. I don't know why I like it so much.
Wow, that's such an obscure movie too. I like First Contact too, by the way. I'm just saying.
Well, then I started watching this breakdown of First Contact, and I haven't finished it yet, but they hit on these I think it's the beginning is my favorite of the entire movie, when they're told to stay out of the fight, you know, and you know, Picard's kind of like, you know, he's disappointed about it. He's asking his crew to kind of trust him. He's not throwing the Federation under the bus. You know, he's kind of just like, we're not going, we're going to stay out here, you know, we're under orders. And then really it's not until he talks to Riker. He's like right there and he's rocking out, he's listening to his music, and then Riker comes in and he's like, hey, how come we're not out there? And he's like, hey, you know, they think that since I was with the Borg, maybe I shouldn't be out there because I might be, you know, I might not be the best guy out there.
What does Riker say to make him go into the fight?
Doesn't say anything. Well, he does say, well, your experience with the Borg makes you exactly the right man for the fight. And Picard's like, well, apparently Admiral Hayes disagrees. And then after that, they get called to the bridge and they're hearing the fight, right? They're hearing, they could hear the defense lines. The defense lines are breaking and they're falling back, and then the next one's breaking, they're falling back.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, he's hearing it. He's like, fuck it, we're going.
Yeah.
He makes the decision on his own, which is cool because nobody talks him into it. He talks himself into it just by hearing it out. He's just like, no.
But don't you think Picard, if you tell him he can't go, he'll do what he thinks is right and not go? Even if he thinks it's right to go, he'll just refuse that and still follow orders because that's what he does.
No.
Would that make sense to you that he would just like, no.
That what do you mean? What do you mean, that he would go against orders, or that
like what he did? Does it make any sense for him to not do that?
I think earlier on in the series it would have.
Right then. How about from that episode, say from that movie forward, do you think he'll ever go backwards in that way of thinking?
No,
Because that doesn't make sense with that character, right? Because he grew to that point, right? It doesn't make sense for him to be like, you can't do this. All right, cool. Does he seem like a quitter? Like he's a quitter? Like, does it feel like that?
not in First Contact.
No, but you would think that, say in the future, do you think that Picard would ever just quit?
So what happens in the future? I feel like it's going somewhere.
Yeah, because he does the exact fucking opposite. It's like all that character
Where?
in Picard.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I mean, like, the character of Picard is, doesn't it make sense for him to do exactly what he did?
I think I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes of Picard. He kind of goes on his own, doesn't he?
Well, I'm not gonna,
Later on, does he end up just following orders?
you got to go by what goes down. So you have
Okay.
one that's about to explode, and he's like, "Come on, Starfleet, let's fucking save the Romulans." And he's like, Starfleet goes, "No," and he's like, "I'll quit if you don't." And they go, "No," and so Picard's like, "If I don't quit," and then he just quits, and then billions die, and I was like, "Wow, that's not the Picard I know."
But you know what? Okay, so I remember what you're talking about now. I feel like he thought he could. I don't think he thought he could save everybody with just one ship,
Yeah, dude.
right? Or I don't even think he was on a ship anymore. I think he was an admiral.
Yeah, it was, well, an admiral has a ship.
Okay,
In
with one ship, but
the world of Starfleet, dude, Picard saved the entire universe with one ship.
yeah, a bunch of times. But
I'm just saying. I mean, like, billions of people for the Great Picard. I mean, like, that's never an episode. And name the Star Trek episode where people just died. And Picard,
he might not have had the leverage he thought he had.
doesn't matter. Do you think he would just stop though? He would never stop. He would die with those people. If anything, there's episodes where the world's gonna end and he has to hold the line and he dies. It's called Tomorrow's Enterprise. Literally.
But see, you know what? But that's what makes that a lot more tragic. He goes against what he knows he would have done, or what he should have done.
It doesn't.
And so
the character. It doesn't. No. You grew him up to this extent.
I get it. But it's like sometimes you do something that's out of character. You give up what you know you would do, given your own free will, and then afterwards you regret it.
If you want to do that, you do that at a small scale, like one person, and instead of trying to save that one person, you let them die.
Well, I think it just made it. I think it just made the play wrong. I think he thought that by him threatening to walk, that he would have the leverage to get them to change their minds.
But he would not have stopped.
I'd have to look and see how fast everything.
Watch. There's the last episode of Star Trek, which is one of the best. When I first watched it, I hated it. But the last episode of Star Trek Next Generation is called "As All Good Things, Come to an End."
Yeah.
Good things. He has one ship, and they do the future version of Picard. So basically, for all intents and purposes, this is what Picard is in the future. You can't have a ship. You can't do this. You can't do that. Picard's like, He keeps trying to save the fate of the fucking universe. You know what I mean? And he does. And he gets the ship. He gets everybody to fucking follow him. And at that point, no shit, at the very, like, towards the end of the episode, everyone's like, what are we fucking doing here? Everyone's doubting him. But he was able to get everyone there. He was able to fucking manipulate everybody into doing what he wanted to do. And just as it looked like, that's it. It's done. He clutched it. He fucking clutched it and saved the entire universe, or all of humankind, let's just say. But I would argue the universe, because of no humans, Borg, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? There's so many little things. But that's your hero in the future, and in the past, and in the present. He does it in all time periods. And it's an ode to Picard. This episode was an ode to Picard in all things. And then you have this show, right?
I think if they had fleshed it out more,
they had 12 episodes to do it.
No. I'm saying, like, if they had actually done that instead of showing it in flashbacks, I think if they had actually done it, maybe they would have arrived somewhere more where you're talking about.
It's a hard,
because then they would have broken it down, and they would have been like, you know what, this doesn't work.
Now, I don't think that they understood what they were doing. I watched the entire thing, but just going by the first 4 episodes, none of which made sense for Picard to do what
None of it made sense for a lot of shit that was going on.
like
I
Picard.
like what was that girl calling him JL?
Yeah. When the fuck is anyone calling him some kind of platitude of, "Hey, bud. Hey," I mean, Jesus.
J. Lou. She was calling him something, and I was just like, "Who the fuck is she?" It didn't ring well with me because I was like, "This is the first fucking time I've seen this person, and
Yes.
they're calling him this when nobody on the Enterprise would have ever called him anything like that."
And another thing that fucking bothered me is that she was poor. Like she was living in like some shack, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Did some economic crisis hit um the Federation? Like, there's no such thing as they figured that out in the 60s.
Right.
You know, like hundreds of years. I mean, I guess something happened where she's just poor and addicted to drugs. That's another thing. She was smoking drugs, and I was just like, wait a minute, when the fuck ever name any like I've watched think about it. 26 episodes for 7 seasons. Name that junkie. There is none. there
Well, shit, even getting alcohol was like special.
and even then, it wasn't like they were gluttons. Like
Right.
there's me, I'm drinking, and say I drink in the morning, and then that's not a thing. They would drink the synthol, and they would be
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah, yeah.
Or there'd be jokes. We drank the Romulan ale and they were fucked up. There's that. But there's no alcoholic in
Right.
Star Trek. I get it if she was an alien race or something like that, but she was Starfleet.
Yeah.
So but fuck her. I don't care about her. What I care about is Picard and him quitting. So like it's like, oh yeah, man, yeah, the fucking Romulans are gonna die. Yeah, fuck, I quit. That's the way it is. That's not the Picard I know. He would never stop. There's not an episode where there isn't. You can watch every 7 seasons, all 7 seasons of Next Generation and the movies, and there's always a dire situation, and he never gives up, even when he loses. He even loses. The episode Tapestry. He gets a knife through his heart and dies. And later on, the Q says, okay, here, I'll give you a chance. And he had the choice of choosing death or becoming mediocre. And he chose death because that's who he is. He's that guy. He's that guy. You know, there's episodes where they're coming everywhere and they're killing him and he dies. There's episodes where he has to run the fucking thing over and over and over, like time, and he just dies constantly. He just chooses death and like over. So when I say that the sun explodes and kills Romulans, guess who's gonna be there first to die? That motherfucker.
Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
I mean, that all we wouldn't have a show. What I'm saying is to create a situation in which he gave up his virtues and it sucked. Smaller scale. They should have been like maybe the one person and
what it should have been, because he's supposed to be disgraced, right? But not disgraced. It should have been he went rogue and they still managed to catch him and stop him before he had a chance to do anything.
Damn, dude.
You know?
30 seconds and you're right. I mean, like if you had that one scene, they caught him and they sent him out, they kicked him out because of his record. Yeah, dude, you're fucking right, dude. That's perfect. You just fucking wrote it, dude. You wrote it. Star Trek should.
Well, I mean, but again, they needed somebody that could kind of inform the character.
I know, right? They needed a Rick Berman, like a showrunner. Their showrunner are people who made Lost, and they switched the showrunner constantly throughout the show. That's like, what are you doing?
That changes the tone and all that.
Yeah.
Shit. Why? That's why I really liked this first episode of Mandalorian, was because it just felt like it fit. Even Star Trek Generations felt like it fit. It's just a long TV show.
I have my reservation.
It's not perfect. It's not perfect.
It's bad, dude. It's bad.
They
killed his family. Like, I mean, like, why would you do that to him? They're like,
oh yeah.
And then like, okay, you have Captain Kirk, one of the greatest captains of all time, and you killed him on in another time period other than his. I mean, like Picard, Captain Kirk is the guy who dies at like a fight within his time. I mean, that's who he is.
Or at the helm of his ship or something, not on some fucking rock, or he falls off of a goddamn little platform.
And
Yeah.
his last words were like, "Oh no." I mean,
Oh no. Oh my. I think it says oh my.
why? But fucking why? You know, like I mean, you would think they engage or some shit. I don't know. I really hated I hated that fucking movie. When I first saw it, I liked it because Data. You know, it's a funny thing is
I was gonna say those were my favorite scenes between Picard and Data. When Data's like freaking out and Picard's like he gets on him, and then Data kind of snaps too.
yeah.
And
When
he's and then but
yeah,
then Picard kind of smooths him out too.
yeah.
So hey man, that also that makes you human too, but we got our jobs we got to do.
Data and Picard's relationship is so awesome that gets redefined in Voyager. Voyager figures out how to create that connection.
So I watched was it Unification or Reunification
Yes.
with the Spock episode?
Yes.
I think one of my favorite scenes is when Picard's trying to sleep and Data's just like staring, right? Because he doesn't sleep.
On the Klingon ship?
Yeah, and then Picard's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Sorry, I was running the numbers, this and that." He's all, "Oh, okay, sorry, I'll go back to sleep." But then Data, like, he's looking at him when he says that to him, and then he just stops.
Yeah.
And then Picard's like, "What are you looking at?" He's all, "I wasn't looking at anything." He's all, "You were looking at me." He's all, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna sleep." And he gets up. "All right, let's go over the numbers."
He said, "Well, don't look at me. Look somewhere else." And then
Don't look at me. Look somewhere else.
yeah, and then he's like, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm looking away, like you said. And he goes, I can just do this. And I agree. The Data and Picard relationships are really good. There are some episodes where I was like, this is forced, but like there's a part where they're doing Hamlet. No, fuck, I take that back. No, there's those two characters together is such a good thing, and it's good that they did that with Picard. They fucked it all up. And I have to say, they revisit whoever made Voyager was like, we need to create a Picard Data situation, and Voyager achieves that with Janeway and Seven of Nine. They're literally like they fucking hate each other for real, like in real life, and you can see that when they're acting. Because here you have the superior bit, because Borg are superior to humans. I mean, they know everything. I mean, they have all this information, so they have all this energy. So there's a lot of points where here you got this Borg chick, and she's like, she knows everything, and you got this confident captain telling you what to do, and you're like, no, you're fucking wrong, and I'll disobey you. And then they go back and forth, and through strife, then they become like respected at each other, and then it gets to a point where it's like a mother-daughter relationship like no other. And then it gets to a point where, like, at the very end of the show, there's this part where the future spoilers, the future Janeway comes back and is like, hey, we got to do it this way. This is how you get back home. And then like Janeway's like, we can't fucking do that. Fuck that. That's bullshit. We're not doing that. That's not who we are. And then she goes, well, this guy's going to die. She goes, I don't fucking care. So be it. I'll do this. I'll do that. And she goes, well, this guy's going to die. And she goes, no, fuck you. You're stupid. And then she goes, and then like, just to shut her the fuck up, she goes, 7 of 9 will die in 2 years if you fucking do this. And then it gets to like the music fucking stops. Everything stops. She sits down like this proud captain who's okay with people dying left and right. She hears 7 of 9 is going to die. And she's like, okay. All right. Let's talk for a second.
Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this shit. And I thought to create that situation took 4 seasons of hate and then love. Right. And then respect. And Data and Picard have achieved that from the beginning. And it wasn't really earned, but I mean, over time, you might as well just call it. You know, so when you have Picard the show, it just drives me the fuck nuts, dude. Because like it's like everything that Picard is not Picard there. And so why the fuck did you call it Picard? And then when you call it Picard, like say it's a thing, an homage to Picard, like where's our Picard? And then the real Picard shows up, right? At the very end or some shit like that. That doesn't happen. You know, like the whole time, this elderly dude who sucks, and then it fucking ends, and that's your fucking Picard. And when you were saying you were watching Star Trek, I was like, Ever's not gonna like the new Picard show if he watches too much Star Trek, because
I was watching and I was like, it's cool to see him again, but there was just too much shit happening that I was just like, this isn't Star Trek.
it was too much shit, right? It was like this story's happening and this story's happening and then this is happening, and it was moving too fast, but like it wasn't concise. You know what I mean? Like if you watch a Star Trek episode,
And then there's I was like,
yeah, it's like you got the fucking Starfleet's being weird. You've got some secret organization. You got fucking robots. Then you got this explosion. You got Romulans dying, and they got Romulan Legolas over there, and then you got then you got some pirate going, and then you got this other lady who's a pirate, but she's not really. She's a junkie. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? What is this? Yeah.
yeah, it was weird. Maybe that's why I stopped watching it. I just stopped caring.
It's not fun when you watch the show. It isn't fun at all. It's not as fun as if when you watch Star Trek. There's a lot of funness going. There's literally a Die Hard episode. It's called Ship Mine, and it's Picard. Picard's ship or Star Enterprise is getting cleaned, and so they have to empty the ship. And Picard so happens to be on the ship of people who are about to steal the Enterprise, and he has to kill them all. I was like, that's Die Hard. Literally,
Yeah, that's Die Hard.
they talk like that. I'm not just a thief. I'm a good one. And I was like, oh, fucking Gruber, what the fuck? I mean, like, it literally was the same fucking thing, word for word. I mean, you might as well have put a guy in a turbo lift saying ho ho ho. You know what I mean? Like this. That, but like that's a beautiful episode. It just is, because it's Picard taking on people. There's episodes where Picard gets kidnapped and then he becomes a pirate. I mean, like, fucking great, dude. It's such a good show, you know.
Well, I like it too that he's kind of giving his best. He's giving badass performances.
Well, yeah,
all the fucking time. It seems like
he's taking a Shakespearean caliber acting skill to, and which, if you ever watch Star Trek, really that is what it is, because they are theater. Like when you watch Star Trek, the original series, it's theater. The way they talk, the way they act, it's all theater. So when you watch Next Generation, really it's only Picard that is the theater person. And although he hated Star Trek, know this, he hated it. He gives the best performance. It just is. Other people shine, but he's the one who's, wow. Shit just got real.
What's going on?
We're at 209 on the Biden scale. Oh, because California just jumped in. The numbers are coming in.
It's funny.
Fuck.
I don't have that in the AP, but they're showing that on NBC. Oh yeah, no, it is. Yeah, but you still got, and here's the problem. Florida, they still haven't called it for Trump. On this one, he's gonna get Florida.
Yeah,
I don't see how he doesn't get Florida. I don't know why they haven't called Florida for Trump.
Well, they're doing as accurate as they can. You know what I mean? Of the reporting, they can't just say something that didn't happen.
97%, and he's up by 3 points.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's up by 4. I'm sorry. There's 3% left of the vote. He's up by 4.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Obviously. You know, it's funny though. Trump was gaining. It was at 130 for Biden while we were talking. It was 130 for Biden, and
then 102 or something.
Yeah, and then Trump just jumped to 112, and then bam, Biden jumps at 209.
Yeah, but they gave him the whole West Coast, and that's pretty much it. That's all he's gonna get for the rest of the night, for sure.
Who?
Arizona, he's leading in Arizona, which would be a coup if he gets Arizona. He's losing in Texas.
That's crazy that he's getting Arizona. That would be. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. Hey, wait.
Well, you know, I mean, because Trump talked mad shit about John McCain, and
so you think in Arizona to fucking never forget? I know some fucking people who are hardcore Trump fans and went to Arizona.
Some people, but then again, you know, I mean, I don't know, man. If I was in a state that reelected the same fucking dude for 30 years, and then this dude came along and said that he was a piece of shit,
I never forget. Bill, when yeah, I wish Arizona was like that, though. I mean, he should lose Arizona just on general principle. just for
Yeah.
that. Whenever you talk shit about fucking, but they voted for him though. Well, because he didn't die then. My bad. I'm stupid.
Damn, I'm surprised they haven't called Ohio for Trump.
Ohio.
90% of the vote is in, and he's leading by 8.
Well, it's not as bad as Florida, but 97.
Yeah, Florida is closer.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, Donald Trump's leading in Pennsylvania. God damn, this does not look good, dude.
Well, look at it though. As of now, it's for me, I got 209 to 112.
So let's say he gets Minnesota. That takes him up to 219.
Who? Biden?
Yeah.
He's gonna get Minnesota.
Okay, let's say he gets Minnesota. Let's say he gets Iowa. That takes him up to 225 in Arizona. That's 236. Everything else is leaning red, man. This doesn't look good.
Well, I knew Trump was going to win from the beginning. So that's just on the table. I have a recorded podcast where I laughed at you for the first time. And then the recent podcast, I was like, you're fucking dumb. I can't believe you thinking he's going to win. I really did. I just can't believe anyone thought Biden was good. Because people who vote are going to vote for Biden. They're going to vote for fucking Trump. And then the people who would vote for Biden are either going to vote for Biden or Kanye West. Or I get this shit. I'm looking at it right now. Who the fuck is Howie Hawkins? Who the fuck is Joe Jorgensen? She's getting votes. Like 1 million people voted for this lady named Joe Jorgensen.
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell
you. Mandalorian?
You didn't know that she was an academic and libertarian political activist?
Was I supposed to?
Yeah, her running mate is Spike Cohen. Duh. You didn't know that?
Spike Lee?
Oh, it should be, right? Who the fuck is this lady?
Damn, dude. Even if he gets Michigan and Wisconsin, he loses.
Biden?
Yeah.
Biden's not going to get Michigan. You know that.
I don't see it happening right now either.
He is going to. What are you? I have to say this though. Let's get into this prediction right now. If and when Trump wins, which he will, there's going to be riots like no other.
If Trump wins?
Most definitely he wins. You don't think there'll be riots? How many Republicans do you see rioting ever? Like looting and polluting? How many Republicans do you seen break down liquor stores? I know people who will riot. So I'm saying, like, when Trump becomes president, there's going to be some rioting. Especially now. Whoever turned up the heat, man, there's some conspiracy theories out there, too.
This is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. I fucking told you. Your vote means nothing. It does. No, you know what, though? He would, if Bernie was the guy they would have put up like they should have, he would have won. And if it was Andrew Yang, it would have been closer. I'm just saying. And if it was Tulsi Gabbard, she would have won.
It's man, it's because Pennsylvania is way out ahead for Trump. Even though it's only 45% of the vote.
Why? What makes you think Pennsylvania wouldn't vote for Trump? What makes you think Pennsylvania wouldn't vote for Trump? I don't get it.
Because they kept saying it was like a toss-up.
You mean the media?
No, even Fox.
Not Fox.
Even Fox, but...
Fox never fucking said that. Never.
You don't think so?
I know so. It's fucking recorded. I know that. I put my fucking stamp, my mushroom stamp of approval.
Who was it that I was listening to earlier? Kellyanne Conway said that she felt strong about Pennsylvania, but then again, they never said, "Oh yeah, we got it in the bag."
What, they got to say that to make it like so? Like that's a thing. That's a thing where they have to say, yeah. Now, if they would have said something like California, we have, I would be like, that's fucking news. You know, I mean, like California or New York. That's whoa.
Look at North Carolina though.
Okay, let's go. All right, let's go.
Donald Trump's leading by 1%, but there's still 6% left to count.
He's gonna get those. I got 94.
Yeah, 94% in. Donald Trump's up by 1%.
Yeah, he's gonna win that, dude. He's gonna win those two. You know that, dude. He wins that. He wins that all the time. Now, I thought Texas maybe in the beginning, but I was like, what am I thinking? What the fuck am I thinking? You know?
Well, I'm surprised Virginia went for Joe Biden.
Where? Let's go. Let's go to Virginia. But that's only 50%.
Yeah, but they're calling it for Joe Biden.
But they voted Virginia. But they did that last year. I mean,
Did they?
Yeah, they're blue.
Democratic.
They're blue. They blue, blah, blue, 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 blue.
This is intense, dude.
Is it? It's actually molding the way I thought it would. And not just that, like it worked the way I thought it would. It would first be the liberals. They'd start voting like first. Their shit would get counted first. There's not that many of them. and then the real voters would come in like the norm. that's the people who don't give a shit because they actually follow politics. They vote accordingly. All right, Republican. Done. The only people who can truly fucking galvanize people are people like Obama or fucking Trump. They're actually the same guy, except one angers the fucking world. The other one apologized for everything we did. There you go. But both galvanizing figures that create a cult-like mentality. Yeah, I figured it'd be Trump for another 4 years. But I the one prediction I have that I'm not too sure about, but I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100. I'm 100% sure Trump's going to win. But the thing I'm not true about is whether they're going to riot or not. I'm pretty confident they are because they fucking put up some fences in Washington, I think.
Yeah, they did. They put up a second fence around the White House and a bunch of places boarded up their windows and shit.
And I have to say, smart move. Because they're going to be fucking riots because the people who didn't vote are angry. Most people who get shitty are the people who had the power to do something and did not do
didn't do it.
And so, like, instead of that, they're going to go and do this. So they're going to fucking riot and shit because that's the only power they really can have. Which will galvanize Trump to... You know what I saw? You know what commercial I saw is a Trump commercial? Because we have the TV up in the... For the people, for the waiting room. And Trump would say, it would be a Biden vote for me. Or no, just vote. And then, which means vote for me. And then you got Trump. Vote, but don't let anyone mess with them polls. And I was like, what? That's a normal commercial? Like he was basically doing his version of the, let's kill people for voting Democrat thing. But he was doing that as a commercial. So, yeah. He was like, don't let anyone mess with them polls. Which I don't think anyone did, honestly. It's like the real voters came out.
We'll see about Wisconsin.
What makes you think Wisconsin's going anywhere else?
Because, I mean, here's the thing. Other states have a lot more of their expected vote in, but Wisconsin didn't start counting their votes until today, even their mail-ins.
I am pretty confident Wisconsin's going red. That's the way it is, man. I was kind of hoping California to do a big fuck you and go Republican. I really did. You know what I hate though, honestly? Both parties. I do. Because they did that. So people are, starving and what have you. And they need that stimulus. Because real people are poor. They're really not getting any money. And they could have did the stimulus. They chose not to because they wanted to do this bullshit. And a lot of people are like, oh, the fucking Democrats did this or the Republicans did. Bitch, both of them did that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't just like propose, here's a stimulus package, plus we have to go to war with China. I'm not saying that that's what they did, but something like fucking outrageous, where the Republicans are like, what, we can't fucking say yes to this. So it's a strategy. So the Republicans then say, no, we can't vote this in. And so it becomes a thing like, oh, fucking Republicans, we're working with them. And the Republicans said no. And then the Republicans.
Yeah, both sides, not both sides fucking.
Exactly. But you know what they got done really quick? Supreme Court justice.
Court. Well,
Like,
that's because
done. I mean, like if the Democrats really didn't give a shit, I mean, or gave a shit, they probably would fucking do something. But it seemed like
no, they couldn't. No, they couldn't because you don't need the House.
they had filibusters going on at
No,
that.
you can't.
You didn't read
They got
about
rid of the-
filibusters?
They got rid of the filibuster to be able to
Doing it.
what was it?
But then why were they doing it? Just for show?
There was no filibuster.
Yeah.
There's no real filibuster. There's a filibuster, but then you only need the majority of the Senate
Why
to
would you
break the
filibuster
filibuster
if it's pointless?
because it's pointless. Because it wastes time.
The whole fucking this thing is a charade. This voting is a charade. You fucks shouldn't have voted at all. I mean, like this is a fucking joke. And then people are fucking starving. And then this is achieving some kind of a new world order. That Alex Jones was right.
What was it? We spent $4 billion on this election.
Did we? No. We did? Where'd you get this shit? Where are you getting these numbers?
I think each campaign spent $2 billion. Like 1.8 and 2.1 or some shit like that.
Here's real science. Trump, if he said I wanted money, he would get it. Biden had to beg for it. So as a voter, you think to yourself, I need someone who can get money to do shit. I mean, that's the brass tacks right there. It's funny too to watch how it says 209. For me, it says 209 Biden, 118 Trump. And I think that's
doesn't look good though.
It's a weird fucking thing that the media, especially the liberal parts, kept pushing this agenda that didn't exist. Where, oh yeah, Biden has a chance. And I was like, he doesn't have a chance at fucking hell, dude. Are you crazy? And it was like being in all the channels. And yet they kept saying, you must vote, you must vote, you must vote. And I'm like, what am I getting here? If it was a thing in which he was going to be president, why are you fucking saying that? Why is every news story up to this point was like, well, Biden in the polls, he's ahead in the polls. Jesus Christ. I Googled Biden polls, or not Biden, voting and polls. And it was like article after article on how Biden's going to win and how he was leading in the polls. And I was like, how is he fucking leading? He's not going to fucking win. And lo and behold, you see the,
it's going to come down to Michigan and Wisconsin, just like 4 years ago, me just fucking watching them and begging them to fucking change their minds.
Michigan
and possibly Pennsylvania, dude. Possibly Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is going fucking Michigan too, but Michigan. They go well. They are. They're going red.
I mean,
let's ban fracking.
Here's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of votes that are barely starting to get counted today. They didn't do any prep, and that's why. I mean, you look at Pennsylvania, 46% in, right? But then go to another state in the same time zone, 90% in.
No,
60% in.
What you're thinking is
94% in.
There's some kind of concept in which they're going to get more votes in, and that's the way it is. Pretty much what you're seeing is the way it's going to go. All red.
That's normally what it would look like, right? But we got to see all of the. We still have to see all of the.
Sure, that's true. What's going to happen?
Shit.
Trump's going to fucking win. Then they're going to be like, we need to count these votes. And then they're going to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
They're going to do some shady state. Not Florida this time. I don't think Florida's.
No, it's not going to be Florida.
It'll be either
Pennsylvania
or maybe Michigan. They're going to be like, well, something didn't get counted. Probably Michigan. I guarantee the city.
It's going to be Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. They're going to fuck this whole thing up for everybody.
It's going to be Michigan. And that's not that they're fucking it up. Literally, this is how it was going to be. What's going to happen is, though, people are going to say, Michigan did this, Michigan did that. And they're going to have that on the House of Representatives. They have a fucking court. And people are going to like, my vote wasn't counted and bullshit. And da-da-da-da-da. You're going to have all these fucking theatrics about how their vote wasn't counted. But in reality, it'll be Trump in the end. And that's the way it is. And then they're going to make movies about it. Swing vote or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
A repeat of what happened in 2000 fucking, was it 8?
16, 2000.
Well, 2016 wasn't that big of a hubbub. Not in comparison to like 2000. I think it was 8. or was it 4? I forgot what year, but it was a war with, it was when they made a movie called Swing State, you know, and then it was all about Swing Vote or some shit like that, right? Yeah, Swing Vote. And it was all about with Greg Kinnear, I think it was.
I think it was about the 2000 election.
Was it? Yeah. It was when Al Gore and I think Bush, you know, and then it was like, who's going to be president? And everyone's all against Florida. We're repeating that shit now, and it's going to be Michigan. I fucking guarantee it'll be Michigan. And they're going to be like, my vote didn't count. And then
I think it's going to be Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
All three?
Be all three of them.
Oh, that's not the narrative, not the theme of this story that's written.
Dude, it's 2020. The fucking take your narrative and throw that shit out the window. The craziest shit's going to happen. 3 fucking states are going to be
like, we don't our vote count. No, that doesn't work for the American people. Whoever's our overlords who are in charge of this fucking world is going to be like, we need to fucking write the story for Michigan. Michigan's the one who's going to, because between Trump and Whitmore, that's what it's going to be.
Right.
So it's going to be something where like Whitmore did something and that did this and that. And it's going to be a story. I'm telling you, it's about Michigan. Where the fuck is in charge of this world? Because it's fucking obvious. If you haven't woken up, if you haven't taken your red pill yet, this is it. Global world order, man. This is shit. You listen to Alex Jones. That guy's crazy. But he said some shit and I was just like, yeah, fuck. I mean, he was right about Epstein. And he was right about this whole, he was like this. Okay. Back in the day, well, they still have it now, but there's this meeting of rich people that happened. This sounds fake. There's a meeting of rich people and presidents and all these people of industry. They come together. They have a party. They start this thing of a fire and they burn children, but not children, effigies, basically like doll-like figures. They throw it into fire and they worship this god called Moloch. You know, that's a thing. Okay. And Alex Jones, you know, crazy white guy that he is, this shit's happening. I talk to people and everyone's like, bullshit. He breaks into the thing and witnesses all of this and records it. And it's on TV for you to look at. And what the story was is this is the thing that they fucking do. And they just burn trees and it's a club thing. It's not real. We're just having fun. This is like Halloween. And I'm like, why would the richest people in the world in a fucking forest and burn fake baby dolls to this fire thing to some obscure god called Moloch? Like honestly, let's watch all TV and find Moloch. You're not finding him. But if you Google him, he's a pretty shitty guy. You know, oh shit, I hope he doesn't come after me. But I'm just saying, like, that's a thing.
You got your window open back there.
I'll fucking bring it. So you've got rich people, politicians burning baby things into a god we've never even heard of, right? And they're in charge of the world. This is in 2000, I think it was. And fast forward to now, and Alex Jones is predicted like Epstein. He's talking about this island where people hear what this sound, how shitty this sounds. There's an island where fucking rich people go to and they're fucking children and sacrificing them. And you're like, bullshit. Epstein comes to be, and it's the island where they're fucking.
But you know, if you say enough shit, some of it's gonna be true.
But but okay, you say enough shit, it's true.
Well, The Simpsons did the same thing too.
I know, but these are some heavy shit though. Like if he would have said like the trees are.
Yeah, but how much shit does the guy have out there?
A lot.
Is all of it real? Is all of it true? But
the part with the rich people and the people in power, the fact that he's right and that's happening, you know what I mean? Like I get it. He could talk about aliens, interdimensional aliens, and all this other shit. God, you better hope he's not right about a lot of things. But like he's talking about this and that, what have you. And I get you. But the one thing he's right about, I mean, is there, and it was explained away and forgotten into the ether. And then okay, he says a lot of shit. And I was listening to him talking. He was talking about this whole COVID thing, and he linked the global warming of 1990s to it didn't work out. They weren't able to control people like they wanted to. So they created this COVID thing, and it's working way better than they thought. And that's how they're taking over. And I'm like, yes, that sounds like some bullshit. But you got to take what he says in the context of he predicted rich people, which to this day, we're still kind of like okay with it. Like they're burning kids, not kids, let's just say dolls.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're fucking doing that, you know? And like he predicts an island where rich people are fucking. And guess who gets killed? Who suicides himself? I mean, like all fucking intents and purposes, killed himself. I mean, fuck. And then what are the two things we don't talk about? We don't talk about rich people burning babies. We don't talk about fuck island. We talk about this shit right here. This shit that has nothing to do with anything. I'm just saying. When you see this shit, this Biden and Trump, of course, becoming president again, it just gets kind of weird, you know?
We'll have to see what happens.
Trump's gonna be president. I don't need to see what happens. I already seen the future. He's gonna be president, and if Alex Jones has his way, which he did predict this, I mean, fuck, man. Like when they're controlling us with masks and gatherings and shit like that, way better than they did with global warming. Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, it worked. But then again, I don't see the difference between what Alex Jones believes and what I believe. I don't think that there's like an intelligence here. I think that this is human evolution of a society. We kind of just moved into a direction where we formed a one world government. And this is what this is right here. Trump's going to take over as he did for this year. And then as COVID's going to get out of hand and a new world order will form. That's what I think. And I don't think that's like a global conspiracy. I just think that it just kind of worked that way.
It just kind of happened that way.
It just kind of happened that way.
That global catastrophe that'll take us to that Star Trek universe?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll ever achieve that. What's cool about Gene Roddenberry, he believed the opposite of human nature which is unreal. Like he's the only one who's ever created a vision where people instead of working against each other, worked with each other and met a universe that hasn't figured that out yet. And through that, we would recognize ourselves through these other cultures. And then when you watch Next Generation, they even allude to it. We were once like this. You know what I mean? And when you watch the entirety of Star Trek minus the newer stuff, it makes sense. So you have a whole entire planet that unites. And then you go out there and all these other races, they're out there in space and they seem to be smarter than us, but they're not united. And guess who wins in the end? Us. We always beat them. But they're smarter, they're stronger than us usually, but we always beat them. It's because we as a people are united. And that's the beauty of Gene Roddenberry. He believed in a humanity that could unite, which is unreal because that's an unrealistic thing. I don't think human beings can ever do that. I think maybe if we were taken over, we could, but I don't think that we're ever going to just work together for the greater good. The only time we do that is a catastrophe. Like maybe COVID. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it is, Dash.
I don't know. I hope not.
Oh, wait, will you hope? I would rather have a catastrophe happen where we all unite than this. And if COVID is such a catastrophe, let it be. But in reality, like I've seen the effects of COVID with people, and it's usually not that bad. And the people that do go get it bad, it's like, man, you got a wrong shake of the dice. But 1 out of 10 is real bad. But most people are just kind of like, this fucking sucks, you know? So, I mean, I have a theory that this COVID came to be so we have distrust in masks and the government, so that when the real virus comes, like, because that's inevitable, we're gonna be like, we don't need to wear masks, fuck our government, and that's what kills a bunch of people, and usually the dumb ones.
You have to write this as a story, dude.
I don't need to. It's writing itself. No, seriously, like think about it. The person who's not wearing a mask is not wearing a mask out of defiance, not because of any kind of intellectual thing. And to review the actual science of it, they're not reviewing actual science, or reviewing what makes them think they're right. That think about it. If I have this versus this, and I'm spreading it, I'm not spreading as much. I'm just not. But yet people will look for, well, COVID's at this micron, and your mask can only prevent this many microns. And I'm all like, put Kool-Aid in your mouth and blow out, and you have a mask.
Some of it's gonna get stuck on there.
Yeah, and not all of it's gonna come out, right? But some of it does. I'm like, realistically, I mean, viruses work like this. They need more of a team to attack. If a little bit of their team comes up, you have a better chance of taking it over. I mean, this is like some common fucking sense.
Yeah.
But the next virus that comes to kill us,
we're already fatigued from it.
And then like the people who don't wear the masks, they're like, oh, you guys are just fucking sheep, and they don't wear their mask. They can get Kool-Aid in their face. And then they die.
Kool-Aid on other people's faces.
Well, if I'm wearing my mask, at least that's better than them not wearing their mask. I mean, like, it's better than nothing. I mean, yes, I would want them to wear their fucking mask. Yes. But they're just going to die because they're not going to wear their masks. Their buddies aren't going to wear their masks. They're going to breathe Kool-Aid into each other's faces and then just going to die. They're just going to fucking die. We're waiting for that virus to transfer over from a fucking animal to a human, and it has a kill rate of like 1 for 1. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to kill a lot of them. And then like, it's that quick. So that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. It won't spread. People just die, they die within that day. They don't have time to spread it. They just die. And then I'll coal our fucking country.
That's fucking scary. They still don't want to call Florida.
Well, those are probably absentee ballots though, too. You know what I mean?
I would have just called it by now.
But they can't. That's not how the electorals work.
No, I'm saying like the news can call it. I mean, 98% in, Donald Trump's up by 3.
In a world where fake news exists, the news can't be like, let's kind of fake it,
So, okay, wait. Donald Trump's ahead by 3%?
In Florida?
Oh, I guess mathematically.
In Florida?
Every single person would have to vote that's left to vote to catch up to Donald Trump. I think it's
in Florida?
Yeah. Every absentee vote, the last 2% would have to be for Biden for it to work.
No, I thought this percentage is based off the 98% that they have. I have 98% and then 51. I have 98% reporting, and then the rest is a breakdown of those 2 percentages. And I thought that was, of that 98%, 51.3% is Trump. The other is Biden. That's what I thought that meant.
Okay, of the 98% that has voted,
yes,
51% for Trump, 48 or 49% for Biden.
Yeah, that's why
there's still 2% more to vote.
Yeah, no, not to vote, but of reporting. Like, they have to count the shit.
Yeah, well, expected vote. Well, that number is a moving target too, because that's what they.
That's expected vote. I think that's of what they have, and they're just like,
I'm seeing right here it says of expected vote in. So I guess they don't have all the votes in then. They don't know how many votes they have in.
I thought votes
because they could still get them. They could still get more ballots after election day.
That's true, but it won't really. That won't matter.
Well, if it's short by like 100,000 votes and they get 200,000 ballots.
I agree, but I don't think it'll be like that though, because that electorals. I thought electorals work like this. You vote, and then it's a certain amount of votes, and then electorals are like, oh, okay, that's good, and they go that direction. There's only a few states that are like, and they choose too. I think only certain states go by the exact number. Like if
it's almost like super delegates, but the state will go off of the majority.
Not every state. Most states will work off a majority.
Okay, but we're talking about Florida. Florida will go whoever gets the most votes.
Yeah, I think that California though plays off of yeah, we're good. It's going to be this. But they can choose if they wanted to. The electorals could literally.
Yeah. The people that, But I
know
I want to say they just passed. They didn't pass a law, but the Supreme Court made a judgment where they kind of have to adhere to whatever the state tells them.
That's awesome. But like not all states are like that. I think California was one of the rare few where it was like, yeah, I know you all voted Hillary, but no, they can go red.
Yeah, but the decision that came was I want to say it was within the last year or some shit like that.
That's cool. it's a non-thought because it's California.
I'm not expecting anything like that. I'm not expecting anything like that.
Yeah.
What I'm expecting these late votes.
I'm expecting Michigan to be the clutch in the sense that it's going to be a thing, and it's going to be argued for all time. And then, but it won't matter because 4 years later, he's not president anymore.
Damn, Kev.
Well, let's call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I'm gonna keep drinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm gonna keep watching this, but I kind of want to hear some of their breakdown of what's going on.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm literally going to YouTube and watching Star Trek because that's real. Because like this shit is fake as fuck. But I'm telling you, watch. Hey, it's recording right now. It's 11:33 p.m. here in Eastern time, and I'm saying right now, near November fucking 3rd, 2020, this shit's a farce. Michigan's gonna be some kind of weird, wonky story. They're gonna argue. Trump's gonna be president, and here we are.
I don't think we find out till Friday.
Oh, of course, yeah. In reality, is we're gonna find out tomorrow, and then they're gonna bitch and moan, and they're gonna say Friday.
Oh, we're gonna bitch hard.
Yeah, but we already knew after tomorrow it's gonna be Trump, and then like it's gonna go back and forth, but it doesn't matter. It'll be Trump, and then 4 years later, I'll be like, "Told you so."
Fuck.
Yeah, that's the way it is. What happened to fucking John though? He just fucking gave up.
He just gave up.
He's like, fuck, this is too complicated. These guys are talking. I don't know what they're saying. All right, man. As always, if you like this podcast, please like and subscribe, share away, get on Spotify, get on the iTunes. Fucking, we're everywhere. We're fucking everywhere. And we're awesome. So always be the better person than you are yesterday. Don't vote anymore. Fucking realize that this is a farce. So the better you tomorrow understands, be that person today. All right. Take care.